It's John McLauchlan. Welcome to day 131, promoting the Clickbank products using myleadgensecret. And this is a case study I've been doing since the beginning of January, just doing it every single day to find out what the best practice is, to see how much generate, or what is the best practice to generate the most revenue in the best way. So that's what we're doing. 12 months we're doing this for, or initially to see how much revenue we can generate in that 12-month period, and obviously we want to continue from there. So we're looking at seeing what works and what doesn't work. So first thing we'll do is we'll just log into Clickbank. Let's have a quick look. Let's go and refresh the page. So I've started sending the emails at a different time. I'm doing these emails in the afternoon, or these videos now in the afternoon, as opposed to the kind of later evening. So that's changed things up a little bit. So we've had 2 days where we've had no sales, which is not very good. Okay, so we've looked at the subject lines, we've changed those around a little bit. We've got some more results as a result of that, but currently two no-show days, which is rubbish. So let's have a quick look at the reporting. Last week, to be fair, wasn't a bad week. In fact, if I go back to the dashboard, I'll show you the old stats, or what I call the old stats. So last week was at $160.06, much thanks to the 3 sales we had on the 20th. But today's the 22nd, and like 2 days here, so it's no good. So I'm kind of expecting something to be coming in, I would hope anyway, on the 20th, which is today. But you know, we've got a few gaps. But then I have been kind of messing around with the subject lines. I've been going out a little bit. Just again, this is what happens sometimes when you try and test things. Sometimes you can get something that works and you go, okay, let's see if we can improve it a little bit by tweaking those subject lines, and then sometimes you end up not quite getting the results that you wanted. So do you let that permeate and let that work, so your audience get to understand who you are on a better level and you get more results, or do you just continue with the status quo and say, okay, we'll just continue getting 140, 150 a week? And that's what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes when you test and measure things in this industry, because it's not an exact science, sometimes you'll test and measure it and make it worse. Okay, sometimes you'll test it and make it better. You've got to find what does and what doesn't work. Okay, and so we'll just see what happens. This is a good experiment with this particular audience, and one of the downsides I would say with myleadgen is that you don't know who's opened your email. Okay, you can't then go and find out who those people are or what they do for a living, and really find out who your audience is. And also, when you make sales with Clickbank, you don't know who made sales with Clickbank, so there's a difference there. So it's a little bit restrictive in some respects, and yet it will teach you a lot of things that you need to know about email marketing, developing a brand, and growing an audience. Okay, so if you think about, if you can make sales with this, then when you actually start developing, or if you have already got your own email list, which you definitely recommend you have, you'll get some additional results with that, because you've got additional metrics to fall back on. So let's have a quick look at the stats again. So we've looked at the reporting side. So currently 37,500 hops, 692 impressions, 70 new business sales, 10.12 on the conversion rate, so that's going up, and 2,294.64 on the gross earnings. So that's not too bad. The only thing with the conversion rate is based on opens and conversions. Okay, so if the subject lines aren't as good, there's not going to be as many people clicking. Okay, so conversions as a result will go up. So that's the only thing we've got to look at there. So let's go and have a look at myleadgen. Okay, so if you can hear this chomping in the background, it's my dog. He's got one of those nylon. I've given him a new nylon bone, because his nylon bone got to about this big. Okay, so and they normally start about that big. Okay, so I'm going to leave him because he's quite happy with it. So we've been out for a walk today and he's a bit wet, so he's quite happy. Right, so if you want to know more about myleadgensecret, go and have a look at the card coming up there, and also have a look at the link, just the first link in my description, and I'll tell you everything about myleadgensecret. And if you want to make money online, if you want to make this work, if you want to actually gain some traction with a lot of people talk about making money online, and not many people actually do much with it, unfortunately. Okay, and I'm going to be doing a video about that as well, because it's something that's kind of made me realise the potential of what we've got available to us, and yet most people just go, oh, it's all right. Oh, yeah, it's all right. Making money online, have a go, do a bit. Okay, but the people that actually who are serious about it, who actually stick in and do the work, they've got an infinitely greater chance of success, because most people aren't that bothered. Okay, and that's the difference, because most people don't make it work. If you can outwork somebody, and let me tell you, it's getting easier and easier to outwork people these days, you'll be one of those people that rise to the top. So if you're thinking, you know, is my lead gen secret for me? Okay, are you going to research it to death like I used to do? Okay, or are you just going to get stuck in and get working and make it work? Okay, and that's what my recommendation is. So go and do it. Right. So what I've done, I've got an email that has produced a number of sales, which is the gaming on YouTube. Okay, I've looked at the subject line. I've rewritten the subject line. I've rewritten the email as it is, so we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to go to the learn system. I'm going to select all leads. There we go. Okay, I'm going to load in yesterday's email because it keeps the formatting. I'm going to load in all the bits and pieces that I need. And yeah, this is sometimes what happens when you're running an online business. Sometimes you'll log into your stats and you go, oh look, I've had a load of sales. Isn't life wonderful? And then you'll look a couple of days where you have no sales, and you go, oh my god, what's happening? What's going on? What am I doing wrong? And it's just the way business is. It's just the way it is, right? And there's nothing worse than having to wait for results and not knowing if what you're actually doing is actually making sense. You know, I'm emailing every single day, I'm doing what John says, but nothing's happening. Is it me? Is John just talking nonsense? Is John, making things up? Does my lead gen secret really exist? Is that big crowd real? I get it. There's nothing worse than having doubts in your abilities. But one of the things about, and I've said this before, when you've got experience, you can fall back on the experience. When you're brand new, you've got nothing to fall back on. So the only thing you've got to fall back on when you're brand new is just a bit of faith. And that's why getting sales early on is really, really important, because it bolsters that faith, and it also builds your experience in what you're doing. So when you get a bit of a dry spell, you can go, well, that's because either it's just a dry spell, or you've changed a tactic, or you've done something. There's always something, that happens. Let me just see about this. Going to change the details of that. Okay, right, grab the link. Right, there we go. There's the email. So we'll do it on perfect timing. We'll preview it, have a quick look. That's better, that's all right. That looks nice. Let's go and click on one of the links and have a slip of coffee at the same time. So that's the right landing page. And the hop equals, make sure it's got your Clickbank ID in it. Make sure you're good to go. When you read this, don't get off put by see where it says need a helping hand from the United Kingdom. Okay, this is coded to wherever the recipient is in the world. Okay, so if you read this on the normal landing page, there'd just be a code snippet in there, okay, which says location. Okay, so it can be say from United States, from South Africa, whatever. Okay, you get the idea. Right, so there we go, that's it. Let me just have a quick check of it. If you're into gaming, comment, making money on YouTube, then this email is for you. In fact, this. Alright, good. Right, let's go and send the email. Right, I'll grab the source code. So one of the things that you'll notice if you're into, and everyone should be, is doing social media posting. And if you post on social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all those, they'll tell you the best time to post, okay? Because that's where you get the most attention, because that's where your audience is. And one of the things I've got to look at is, is doing the email at this time, which is 2:15 in the afternoon in the UK, good for my US audience? Because this will be going out during the morning, okay? So one thing I've got to think of is most of the time people will read the emails usually a day later, because of the way it gets delivered with perfect timing and everything else. So I started doing this 3 days ago, okay? So maybe people are yet to make a decision based on the email they've got. That's the other thing I'm thinking of as well. And is this time the best time to send the email right now? And again, it's another statistic, it's another factor that I've got to really look at and weigh up. Okay, so if I get a dry spell, okay, for the next week, which will be pretty unlikely, okay, but pretty devastating at the same time, then I've got to really review what's really happened. And the two main differences, okay, number one, the subject lines, they've got better, okay, and number two is when I send the email, okay, so we'll look at that as well. Yeah, so if it didn't improve over the next 3 or 4 days, then I would go back to sending the email later on, okay, rather than because when it would get to, yeah, I could talk about this all day. That's what I'm going to do. Right, so let's grab the copy. It's a little bit like when I used to build websites I've never built websites professionally, but just for myself, okay, and my technical skills are pretty rudimentary, all right, and I would be doing something, I'd Google something or YouTube something, and I would break it. I would often break my sites quite regularly, okay. I'd do that, I'd go click and go, it's all gone blank, right, okay, what was the last thing you did? Right, go back and fix that, because obviously that's what messed it up, okay. And it's the same with marketing, okay. What's the last thing you did? And particularly with, when you're not just sending emails, but if you're doing things like sales funnels, and email follow-ups, you everything is a statistic. Everything is relevant, and you've got to be aware of what's happening and what people are responding to. He's certainly enjoying his new bow anyway. Not me, the dog. Right, account number 3. Earning system. Okay. Yeah, once you get your first email done, it's dead easy. You just cycle through them all, just copy and paste. Number 4. There we go. Last one is number 5. And again, my recommendation if you're watching this is 3 accounts, 3 Mileage and Secret accounts stacked on top of each other. Okay, will give you the good bit of traction to get started with this strategy. Okay, but again, if you're struggling with money, just get one. Just get one build up, okay. But essentially, just do the strategy every single day, and put your money back into other accounts when it comes in. Right. So there we go. So let's have a quick refresh of the page. Okay, so it's all the same. So yeah, I'm expecting. I would expect a sale at some point today. Let's hope so, anyway. Okay, otherwise we're in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but you know what I mean. I'll go back to posting at 10 o'clock at night. But there we go. Anyway, if you got some value from that, give me a thumbs up. Give us a big thumbs up. If you got any questions, drop me a comment below. Because you know I don't hold anything back. If we get some success, we get some success. We go, great, that's wonderful, but let's keep working. If we get some failures, then I go, okay, probably this is why it's happened, and then I'll come back and go, okay, this is why, and that's probably the reason why. There's not a failure having 2 days, but you know the way I wanted this to work was to build up every single day, so you've got multiple sales every day. So having this like 1, 2, 3 days with no sales, it's something's happened, and that something is changing the way that I'm sending the emails and also the subject line. So let's see what happens over the next few days. Anyway, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, because I've got loads more than just My Lead Gen Secret on this channel. I've got my affiliate marketing masterclass, which is now live, and I'm also doing another playlist. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to call it yet, but essentially on a day-to-day basis, I go out and look for stuff, I do research on things, I find things out, whether it's in relation to video marketing or technical stuff, and it's all useful stuff. So I'm going to use that as well. I'm going to put that on this channel and just make it available, because it's really helpful. So for an example, I don't know if you've ever done this before, where you set your main camera to record, okay, but you forget to put the good audio on. Okay, so you end up recording just on the this is my, I don't know if you can see it here. You can see it there. There's my camera. Look. There we go. Okay, that's my, okay, it's all tethered. There we go. That's my main kind of DSLR camera. And if you record just purely on the audio, it's rubbish on there. Where I like to record on my Yeti. So that's what I do. And one particular day I forgot to record it, and I thought, oh, I don't want to record everything again. And if you go to module 3, actually, in my masterclass, it's that one, and that is probably the best audio. And I found a way around to take the audio, put it into a piece of software which is free, which will clean it for you and then deliver it back to you. It was brilliant. It worked an absolute treat. So it's things like that I'm going to put on that playlist, and I think everyone's going to find it really useful, because sometimes when we're building an online business, it's not the big things. It's not the how do I develop a 6-figure income. It's like how do I get my audio to play properly? What happens if I mess up? What happens if I send an email and not get any results? Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, so I think people are going to find it really interesting. Hopefully you will as well. But anyway, if you're not yet subscribed. If you're watching this far, I'm assuming you are subscribed. I'm assuming you're pretty keen to get all the information. So I appreciate all the comments. Thank you for those, and I'll see you on the session tomorrow. Bye for now.